Imagine a team, a quiet provincial club, who just 2 seasons prior were battling in the obscurity of the second division. Now, they stood as champions of England, yet the footballing world scoffed at the European ambitions. How could a club like this conquer the giants of the continent? This is the story of an improbable ascent, a season where a visionary manager, his brilliant assistant, and a band of ordinary players achieved something truly extraordinary, defying all logic to etch their names into football immortality. So in 1978, Nottingham Forest, a provincial club from the East Midlands, stood atop English football as First Division champions. Just 2 years prior, they were languishing in the Second Division. Their meteoric rise under the enigmatic Brian Clough and his brilliant assistant Peter Taylor had already astonished the world. But what came next in the 1978-79 season would elevate them from domestic champions to European legends. This wasn't an era of super clubs or billionaire owners. This was an era where grit, tactical genius, and sheer willpower could conquer all. Forest's triumph in 1978 meant their first ever foray into the most prestigious club competition, the European Cup. Many expected a valiant effort, perhaps a respectable exit. No one, and absolutely no one, predicted they would conquer Europe. At the heart of this impossible dream were Brian Clough and Peter Taylor. Clough, the charismatic, outspoken manager, was the public face, the motivator, and the master psychologist. He famously said, and I quote, "I wouldn't say I was the best manager in the business, but I was in the top one." He demanded discipline and hard work, but fostered an incredible bond with his players. Beside him was the unsung hero, Peter Taylor. Taylor possessed an unparalleled eye for talent and was the meticulous scout, the tactician who worked tirelessly behind the scenes. He transformed players like the mercurial John Robertson from an overnight winger into a European star, and converted fiery striker Kenny Barnes into a rock-solid central defender, a move that proved pivotal. Clough himself admitted, and I quote, "I am the shop window, and he is the goods in the back." Their partnership was telepathic, a perfect blend of charisma and cunning. The team itself was a testament to their genius. In goal, the commanding Peter Shilton, arguably the best goalkeeper in the world at that time. A formidable defense featuring the fearless Kenny Barnes and Larry Lloyd, flanked by the trailblazing Viv Anderson at right back and the dependable Frank Clark or Colin Barrett on the left. In midfield, the tireless engine of John McGovern, the clever Ian Boyer, and the silky skills of Archie Gimel. Up front, the clinical Tony Woodcock and the raw talent of Gary Beatles, who emerged as the club's top scorer. As the European campaign beckoned, Forest also had to defend their league title. The 1978-79 domestic season saw them continue the incredible unbeaten run from the previous year, setting a new Football League record of 42 consecutive league games without a defeat, a record that stood for 26 years. While they ultimately finished runners-up in the league to Liverpool, their consistency was remarkable. They also defended the League Cup, battling through tough fixtures to reach the final at Wembley against Southampton. A 3-2 victory secured their second consecutive League Cup, showcasing their ability to win on multiple fronts. But a significant development occurred mid-season that will capture headlines and define the European challenge: the signing of Trevor Francis.
Loyal fans and pressmen turned out to cheer Britain's first million-pound footballer into Nottingham.
In February 1979, Clough shattered the British transfer record, paying an astonishing £1 million for the Birmingham City striker. The move was audacious, a bold statement that sent shockwaves through English football. Francis arrived just in time to be registered for the latter stages of the European Cup, a crucial piece in Clough's puzzle. Forest's European Cup journey was a true gauntlet. In round 1, they faced the mighty Liverpool, the reigning European champions and fierce domestic rivals. This was more than just a tie, it was a battle of bragging rights. Forest emerged victorious, winning 2-0 at the City Ground and holding Liverpool to a goalless draw at Anfield. It was a clear statement of intent. In round 2, a straightforward 7-2 aggregate win over AEK Athens saw them progress comfortably. In the quarterfinals, Forest met Swiss champions Grasshopper Club. A 4-1 home win in the first leg provided a strong advantage, and they saw out the tie with a goalless draw away from home. In the semi-finals, the toughest test yet, West German champions FC Cologne, the first leg at the City Ground was an enthralling 3-3 draw, leaving Forest with a monumental task in Germany. But Clough's side showed their steel. In a tense return leg, Forest triumphed 1-0 thanks to a goal from Gary Beatles, securing their place in the European Cup final. This victory showcased their resilience and ability to perform under immense pressure in hostile environments. Clough's tactics in Europe were often pragmatic. He understood the importance of defensive solidity, particularly away from home, and relied on the creative sparks of players like John Robertson to unlock defenses, combined with the tireless running of the forwards. On May 30th, 1979, in Munich's iconic stadium, Olympiastadion, Nottingham Forest faced Swedish champions Malmö. The final itself was a cagey affair. Malmö, under manager Bob Hutton, employed a highly defensive strategy, content to sit deep and frustrate Forest. The breakthrough came just before halftime. A magnificent run and cross from the Picasso of our game, John Robertson, found the head of the £1 million man, Trevor Francis.
During the course of the first half, Robertson, the first time we've seen them attack them, and there's Francis! Well, that's what I wanted to see Robertson do. And Trevor Francis, the £1 million man.
It was a fitting moment, the record signing scoring the most important goal in the club's history on his European debut, no less. As the final whistle blew, an unfancied Nottingham Forest, a second division team just 4 years earlier, were champions of Europe. The celebrations were raw, emotional, and historic. Nottingham Forest 1978-79 season is not just a tale of winning a trophy. It's a testament to belief, revolutionary management, and the power of a collective. They weren't the biggest, the richest, or the most glamorous, but under Brian Clough and Peter Taylor, they were the most cohesive, the most disciplined, and ultimately, the best in Europe. Their triumph inspired a generation and proved that with the right vision and unity, anything is possible in football. They retained the European Cup the following season, an even more incredible feat, but it all began with the magical 1978-79 campaign. The Miracle Men of Nottingham Forest etched their names into football immortality, reminding us all that sometimes the greatest stories come from the most unexpected places.